I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And today, within this video, actually, I'm going to be doing a trade recap from Thursday, November 11th, and today, Friday, November 12th. And what I'll be doing is I'll be going over my trades that I took using not only the replay function, but also I'll just show you guys the overall chart after, and you can see how like my levels interact with the stock even throughout intraday, for example. But before I start, I just wanted to say that I am by no means a consistent, profitable trader yet. But I'm getting there slowly, day by day, improving. But I figured that I could help you guys on your trading journey, maybe, so that maybe you can have like other ideas on your trades. But basically, I'll be going over how I achieved more than 50% gains with all the trades that I took. I also do not trade with Adrian in the morning, since it's just way too fast paced and I can't even keep up. I don't even have time to enter ticker symbol before Adrian's already in the trade. Like by the time Adrian says, "Oh, look at this stock," I don't even have time to actually type it in and getting in, and then next thing I'm chasing, mess up with emotion, psychology is off, right? Then I start losing my trade. But definitely, even listening just to Adrian in the morning at the beginning really helped me to see his thinking process and what he's thinking as he's getting in and out of a trade. So for that, thank you, Adrian. I don't follow his 3% stop loss rule really, and only that because usually it just stresses me out of like getting really the good entry, and that again that messes up with my psychology because sometimes I only be focusing on entry and 3% stop loss as opposed to actually looking at the whole chart. I actually go based of price levels, the price of the chart, right? So if let's say there's like a support level over here, then yeah, my stop loss is going to be slightly below support. So let's say 750 here, right? But that's not really going in and putting, okay, I'm going with 3% stop loss, right? But the max stop loss that I'm willing to do is a 6% stop loss. Why? Because we're scalping, and 6%, if the stop loss is bigger than 6%, that usually means I didn't plan my trade properly, or I just got a very poor entry, which again is not a good trade. Going back to the price on the chart, right? Let's say if you're playing a very volatile stock, like we played DWAC a couple of weeks ago, that stock moves up and down the dollar like it's nothing, right? So for that, you'd have to have a much larger stop loss, but you have to go small position size, right? Because let's say if you buy 100 shares of DWAC and it drops $1, just lost $100 that quickly. But let's say you're playing a stock that is not very volatile, that maybe only moves 5 to 10 cents. Well, in that case, you could even go with 1,000 shares instead of 100 shares, and if it goes down 10 cents, well, you only lose $100. But again, it depends on your portfolio size, right? If you lose $100 out of a $2,000 account, well, that's already 5% of your account, which is not very good risk management. Before I get you guys into a trade that I'm gonna go over, I actually use the trading view screener in the morning, and I find it's really good. It just updates everything you need. It shows the volume, change percentages, and usually like the top ones usually have the most volume, right? The most change percentage. That means they have the most eye on them, and since a lot of people are looking at them, it makes the setups more likely to happen. And especially if you go long, there's probably going to be more momentum to the upside, I'd say. Now, talking about my indicators, candlesticks and all those time frames, I almost use like no indicators. I honestly believe that when you trade, the most important things when you're trading are price action itself and the volume. Those two tell you everything that you need to know. Volume, obviously there's no volume, there's no liquidity, the stock is choppy, which means no movement. Or even if you look for breakouts, for example, you don't want it to be a false breakout, right? So if there's a breakout company with a lot of volume, that's a good sign. But if it's just a breakout, but then somehow there's no volume, that's probably stock market manipulation. It's making people FOMO, getting in, and guess what happens? It's a false breakout, stock drops, everybody's stop loss get hit, and then the stock goes down. So indicators that I do use that I find helpful are the VWAP, which again is used as very strong support and resistance. It's also where usually a lot of big orders are filled. So usually VWAP can act as a strong rejection point. or they could be that small squeeze and then the stock could just fly once across the VR. So that's why I find VR very useful. I also use the 9 EMA. The main reason I use that is just look at how the overall stock is trending, right? So usually when the stock is trending upwards with a strong momentum, it tends to follow the 9 EMA a lot, and usually when it gets really far from the 9 EMA, it usually means it's probably a bit overextended, so it probably usually drops back or close to 9 EMA, and as it keeps going upwards. Other than 9 EMA, I use the 21 EMA. Honestly, 21, like I don't even need to use it. I don't even have to put it on my chart. I guess it's just there. Just maybe because like if the stock is maybe not as strong as trend, it could probably, play around the 21 EMA. You could even use the 21 EMA as like your stop loss, pretty much. So that's that. And then the last indicator I use is the MACD. So I don't use Adrian's settings like the 5, 13, and 1 in the MACD. I just use the regular default MACD. And again, I almost never look at the MACD actually. It's just there, I guess, just for like extra confirmation, or like if the momentum is going up, or if you want to look at like crossover signals, it makes me more confident in the trade. But really, I don't even need it. So I could take this out if I wanted to, and I could take the 21 EMA if I wanted to. As for the time frame, it's always the 1 minute. I only use the 1 minute time frame. Sometimes I could look at like the 5 minutes or like the daily time frame, maybe, just to see other potential support and resistances throughout the day. Like if this is resistance like over here, if the stock gets to this area, I could probably start rejecting from prior months or prior days, prior years probably. 5 minutes, it's mainly like after the first hour, but I rarely trade after the first hour, maybe hour and a half. That's it. So I really use the 5 minutes. It's just there. And lastly, for the candlesticks. So candlesticks, I only use the regular candlesticks. Honestly, they're the most popular, and I think they're honestly the best for trading, especially if you're scalping. Since, like I said, I like to see the true price action. I want to see exactly where the price rejected, exactly where the price actually held or like supported, you could say. And especially when you're scalping, you really want a good entry and a good exit, right? So when you have like buying pressure, selling pressure, those type of things, that's what I want to see. I know that other members in the group also use Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. I find those are good for like the high time frames, like 5 minutes time frame and above, or even if you're like swing trading the 4 hour time frame, daily time frame. But for the 1 minute, although they do smooth out noise, they're just not accurate enough, and they just interfere in my trading. They just mess me up, and like I said, it hides the true price action, which is what I want to see. So for me, Heikin-Ashi, just especially in the 1 minute, it's all over the place. Sometimes it doesn't even make any sense. So I don't use any Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, but that's just my personal preference. Just a simple regular candlesticks. And then the last thing that I even use during a trade is psychology. I don't know if you guys read Adrian's document, right? But like you said, you're competing against every single trader, right? Everyone wants to make money, right? For a buyer, there's a seller, and for a seller, there's a buyer, which means that someone is winning, someone is losing, or someone's losing and someone's winning the other way around. So I also try to look at how the overall, like psychology, how everybody's thinking, right? So let's say there's a breakout, there's probably going to be people chasing from FOMO. Or let's say the stock is pulling back, there's probably going to be dip buyers coming in, like Adrian said, for the stock to continue its upwards momentum. So now going into, actually before I go into the trade, I'll show you guys the strategies that I use. They're actually very simple. Let me show you guys. So some setups I use with the 9 EMA bouncers as the stock is trending upwards. I use momentum plays, like tracing momentum, buying higher and selling higher. Some breakout plays, I use the VWAP bounce, which is, like I said, VWAP is a very strong support and resistance. It can be used by institutions. And really, like one of the most basic things is literally just playing support and resistance zones. So just getting out support, getting out resistance. Or, waiting for resistance breakouts and then going for the next target, right? I do also use chart patterns. So like, when there could be like a bull flag, wedges, those also help like the 9 EMA plays. And then level 2 I use it for, let's say, breakouts or knowing when to get out. So let's say, like in penny stocks especially, we have those strong psychological levels, which are either whole numbers like 3.00 or the 0.50s. So usually those are the very strong resistance levels. So sometimes, like, you could look at a trade and be like, okay, so we're trading at like 230, 240, 245, and then bang, you see a huge order at 250. You should probably get out because that's a resistance level, psychological resistance level, and usually the stock can, just break down, and if you don't get out, then you'll make less money or even go from green to red. Okay, so now that I went over all my strategies, let's go over a trade that I took on Thursday. I actually only traded PPSI on Thursday, and I will go over through my entire process as I'm trading. So, the first thing I always do is mark out pre-market levels, such as pre-market highs, pre-market lows, and potential support and resistance within the pre-market levels, right? So, I'm going to do that right now with you guys. So, we've got our pre-market high, which is over here. I'm going to mark it so you guys can actually see. I hope you guys can see on the screen, but yeah, anyways. So, we got pre-market high over here, as you can see. What do we have else here? We do have pre-market low over here. So yeah, I'm just going to mark it just so you guys can understand. Pre-market low, which is over here. And then, so we got pre-market high, pre-market low. Now, I just find basic support and resistance levels, right? So, I'm going to go support and resistance over here. Oh crap, I didn't mean to go. Oops. No. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to find potential support and resistance, right? So you can clearly see there's a resistance over here. So I'm going to mark that over here as support and resistance. What else? Where else can we have a potential support and resistance? Over here. That could also act as a potential support. And over here. Actually, right over here. So I could probably mark that even as support right over here. I'm actually going to place it over here so it's easier for you guys to see. Perfect. So, I got all of my key zones where the price could bounce in. And I'm going to play the exact scenarios and the exact trade that I took and my thinking process as I traded. Alright, so I'm going to wait, did I put the speed down? Maybe 1 second. Okay, alright. So, market is about to open. I got my level set. Let's see what the market does. Okay, so we've got, the stock is pretty close to the support line over here on pre-level, and it was close to view opportunity, which was in this area. So let's see what happens next. Alright, what do I see now here? We have a level, we have a support level which is over here from the previous, from the pre-market levels. So, and this tells me, and there's a lower wick, which means buying pressure, which means that we are reacting to that support. So what am I going to do? I'm going to enter over, I'm going to let the scenario play out. I'm actually going to enter at the close over here. Why? Because sellers try to push the price down here and then push the stock price all the way up. So I'm going to enter here. Target is either, so I enter here at 8.08. I have a stop loss at that low over here at 7.93. Target, like, it could be at VWAP, but in that case, since I can't do it like slow it down in live, you can see that we rejected right at that 839 level here, which you can see was resistance to the pre-market level, right? So I entered the trade at 808 and I actually exited at around 835. Why? Usually when we get close to this area, I like to just sell before, because if I had waited until you reach 839, it would have pushed back all the way to 820. Next, I'm going to go over my next trade that I took. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. So the next trade that I took on PPSI was actually over here at 819. That's my second trade. Why? Because not only we have this huge lower wick here, which signifies a lot of buying pressure, we were glued, almost glued right to VWAP. So what I'm expecting is a small pop. like a squeeze, right? So I got in at 820. I exited a bit higher here at like 842. I did miss out on the more gains here, but I got it here just, because there was a resistance there. I could also use that resistance, but I just wanted to be safe, so locking gains. Right now, again, we try to push down below VWAP. We push back up. I didn't enter this trade because I wasn't very confident in what the stock was going to do. I waited. Alright, now what am I noticing here? The stock is pushing up. We have a breakout. You can tell that not only did we bounce on that support line once, twice, 3 times in this area here, and we got, you could say, a 9 EMA bounce here, because I don't want to just 9 EMA just for like no reason, just because it bounced in 9 EMA. So I'm actually patient before the stock is actually moving. So I enter here at on the low. Actually, I should enter on the low here at 840. Stop loss. How did I have my stop loss? No. I'm sorry. I entered at the close, 846. I have my stop loss at 835. And then basically, I'm gonna play the rest of the stock. I entered at 846, exited. I was actually close to the top at 867. Why? Because there was that pre-market high here, which can act as very strong resistance. Now what happens here? We have our resistance level here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my resistance. We broke pre-market high, so that's a good thing. I'm going to mark a new resistance throughout the day. And then let's see what happens next. Alright. So, we almost did, we actually almost broke. Okay, so I didn't take any of this trade here. I didn't enter this 9 EMA bounce here. But what I'm waiting for now, as I'm looking at this, again, right? If you enter 9 EMA bounce here, like, what I used to do is I used to just enter a 9 EMA bounce blindly, and I used to get stopped out for nothing. I'll wait for some sort of confirmation. Clearly, we broke through 9 EMA. I'm not going to get in. Here, I didn't feel confident as well either, so I didn't enter 9 EMA because we're so close to resistance points here. So now, with this resistance, can this resistance act as a support? Alright, so yeah, we did react, right? You can see the lower wick here. This area could be support, but of course I'm not going to get in and just taste. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for a retest. Alright, I entered right at that close here at 893. Since, yeah, you could tell like we were definitely acting as support. So I entered here at 893, stop loss at 877, and then what I was aiming for is at least the pre-highs. So over here, right? So we got a new high, or new resistance could actually be over here. So my price target could probably be around 927. So that's what I was aiming for here. Let's see what happens next. Boom, right? We get a nice clean breakout. Not only that, but remember what I said about volume earlier? Look at this. The reason why I didn't get out in this candle is look at the volume here. We have 1.3 million volume as opposed to a previous 300k volume, right? So that's why I stayed for one more candle, and I exited around 978 in this case. And I'm pretty sure I took one more trade after that one. Let's see. Okay, so this new resistance could either act as new support, or since we got a lot of volume and a lot of momentum, the stock could bounce off the 9 EMA here. And now, again, right, just because there's a 9 EMA bounce doesn't mean I just enter 9 EMA, right? Because we could have easily broken down and gone down all the way back to VWAP. But what made me enter this final trade here is how we got those 3 wicks here, right? We went bounce on the 9, push back up, bounce on the 9, push back up. So what I do on the third one, yeah, I could have missed the move here, but luckily it dropped down, it dipped for me, so I entered. Actually, I got exactly the bottom at 945. I stayed in the trade, hoping for at least, if I could get 8989 like the previous high. Here. Entered the trade, being patient. And there we go. I got out at 992. I didn't want to risk it because we could have easily broken down. Which is exactly what happened after. Oh, never mind. I actually entered one more trade after this. I entered one more trade. So this resistance here, previous resistance, is now acting as support. So what I'm waiting for is for a clean price to reach around the 928 area. So I actually entered here. I entered at the red candle, and I had a stop loss at 912. And then hoping for very small scalp actually, like even if I could get close to 955, I'll take it. Which is what happened actually. It got to 950, 959, did it get 960 actually, but I just got out very close. So it was a very small trade from like 925 to 955, which is a 30-cent scalp, which is really good actually. Risk reward wise, I was risking, let's see, about 10 cents. 10 cents to make 30 cents. So 1 to 3 reward ratio. And then, since he went back down again, I wanted to see if we could retest that support one more time maybe, which is exactly what happened. Bam, see that? Double wick. Buyers right here. Buyers are coming at the support here. So I got in at this 929. Let's see if I can exit. And in my head I was thinking, okay, let's see if I can exit at 955 again. Which we did get actually. We did get. I exited early again because my target was 955. I think by the time I clicked the hotkey it was filled to like 9.6, which was good. And then yeah, that was pretty much my trading day for PPSI. Like normally I only trade until like around 10:30 to 11. I just waited a bit longer for this trade, so I finished my day at 11:20 for PPSI for Thursday. So now I'm gonna show you the overall trading day. Nope, it was yesterday, Thursday. Let me scroll back. Oh no. Okay, right? So you can see, not only did we respect those pre-market levels, even intraday levels that we were doing throughout the day, right? See, like this wasn't even a strategy here. I guess it was, but like it was just simple, just support, resistance, breakout, new resistance, 9 EMA bounce, previous resistance breakdown, and again here, resistance acting as support. We got support bounce, quick scalps, support, quick scalp, support, quick scalp again, right? So just doing those very fast, quick scalps. MACD, you could count it was opening up, signaling here, and it was just positive the whole time, unless in this consolidation area here. But yeah, so that was my PPSI trade. Let's move over to CETO trade. Alright, so what is the first thing I do on CETO trade? Oh wait, I actually gotta do the replay thing. Damn it, you guys saw what happened. Oh. Okay, so CETO trade pre-market levels. We got pre-market low over here, which I don't think is gonna happen. So I'm probably not even gonna mark that. I'm probably just gonna mark the supports. You have the resistance in this area here, and you can tell like we're just making new highs. So what I think is gonna happen, what I was thinking, I actually missed this play, so I actually got in the stock after open because I was looking at another stock beforehand. Let's move back here. There we go. Okay, so that was a pre-market high over here, which I marked. And usually when you break pre-market high, this is usually a very strong push, a very strong momentum that comes in. So I was watching the stock at around this point here. So I was waiting after this huge push, and not knowing that, look at the volume here, right? 930, 3 million volume. Again, 2.3 million volume, right? So much volume, right? So this means there could be a lot of eyes on this stock actually. So now I'm waiting for a 90 EMA bounce, and since VRP is very close as well, that could act as dual support. And let's see what happens. And again, right, I don't just enter a 90 EMA bounce because I could easily just break that and go down, right? I need to wait for some sort of confirmation, which in this case we had lower wick support, lower wick support, lower wick. We could even draw a support like over here, as you can see. Nice clean support. There we go. Nice clean support here. So that tells me I'm probably gonna. I actually got in on the close of this candle today, expecting a move to break previous highs. And especially with all that volume here, you can tell the volume is diminishing. Why? People are probably taking their profits. It's not a sign of a sell-off because there's not that crazy volume going down or like a big red candle. So I felt confident that we would hold. So I got in on the close of the 938 candle. Stop loss was actually very close as well. It was like 2.8 was my stop loss. 2.8 was my stop loss. I got in at 2.99. Again, right, with 2.93 could be potential a psychological resistance, but since we already broke it and we actually have support multiple times on that 290 area, and with all the volume previously, I was expecting a quick push momentum. So what did I do? I got out on the next candle right over here at that close here. Why? Then I keep holding longer. Honestly, like I just wanted to lock in profits, and we made a new high anyways, and we were quite far from the 90 EMA, so like we could probably pull back. So I'm just gonna lock in gains here, even though we had that 4.5 million volume, which is pretty crazy here. So we had that, and then so I kept doing that. And again, right, doesn't mean that it's going up that you just enter 90 EMA bounce. I didn't enter this zone. Why? Because we had view up here, and we had a previous we have a support here. So I mean, we could have kept going up in the 90 EMA, but I just didn't want to risk it. So let's see what happens after. Oh, I forgot to mark this resistance here. Resistance here. And another resistance here. Trade is going on. Alright, so what do I see now? Big drop. That was pretty much it. That was like the only trade I took on this. That was the only trade I took on CETO. That was like, oh. So if I close the chart and go back on the chart today, look what happened here. Our levels match exactly what happened later throughout the day, right? This support here acted as support. This resistance here acted as resistance in this area, in this area, in this area. And that's one of the easiest plays I do, right? Support and resistance. Oh, I actually forgot one play. I actually took two plays here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I took two plays over here. I saw this VWAP bounce here, strong push upwards, so I just got in on the next VWAP bounce. Got in at around 2.92, got out that close at 3.04, stop loss at 2.81. So it was again very quick scalp. Then I was just being patient, waiting for another VWAP bounce. We got a nice bounce here, so I actually got in on the red candle here. Sometimes I don't wait for confirmation because it's too late, too slow. So I actually get in right as it's dropping a big red candle. I get in on the red candle. Boom, we push back up. I actually got in and out on the same candle. So I got in at 2.89, got out at 3. So that was like a quick same candle scalp. And then I think that was it. Am I missing a trade here? Oh, I did. Oh my god, sorry guys. I'm doing a replay thing and I'm just trying to memorize where I took all my trades. We had a support here at like 950 candles here. So, and since we had that support here, I could tell that this area was acting as strong support. So I was actually planning an entry here, right? But then what happens is we broke that support, so I thought we were going to go down more. But then what happened, right? We actually held support in this area here. I didn't get in because I just didn't feel too confident. I missed the quick scalp like 273 all the way to 2.8. But I did get in here at 271 on this candle here. I had a stop loss at 2.62. And my PT was VWAP. But since we broke so quickly through VWAP, I actually stayed in the trade longer. And I got out. I saw this resistance over here at like 3.05, so I clicked my hotkey and got out around 3.02. Yeah, I got out around 3.02. That was my trade. And then the last trade I took on Cito was in this area at 10.07. Why? Pretty much the only reason I took the trade on this big red candle here is because we acted as support here when we came back from that support. So I got in at the close of this candle at 2.67, and then I exited at this close of this candle here at 3.02. That was a very risky trade because not only did we have that huge red candle, we had a lot of volume, which could have meant a lot of sell-off. I was looking for just a quick bounce, like almost like a knife chop, like Adrian calls it. I could have gone out here 2.82, but I had really good trades today, so I was ready to take a bit more risk. And luckily it worked out, right? We broke the VWAP and their stock held. So that was pretty much all my trades on Cito. Let's go over the last stock I traded was MRAM. So I'm gonna go back on the replay. So you guys can't see what the hell happened with the chart. I'm gonna mark my pre-market high, pre-market low. I'm just gonna do it quickly. Here, 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 and then yeah, I guess you could also say this level over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the scenario, and then I'm gonna tell you guys about the trades that occurred. So market opens. Not much really. Like this, I also have this zone here could be potential support in this area. Okay. So in this stock, I was pretty much waiting for a VWAP bounce. Why? Because on this candle at 936 here, we got very close to VWAP, pushed back up. So in my thesis, in my head, I was thinking, if we get close to VWAP, I'm just gonna enter. So when this candle here at 938 was red, close to VWAP, I clicked my hotkey right away. I clicked it, I was going down. So I clicked it at like 8.03, and I got filled at 8.01. Which I'm pretty sure was what happened here. And then, so I got in, right? There wasn't too much volume, but like it popped it on my screener. my next resistance was over here. You can see how this pre-market resistance here acted as resistance throughout the day as well, which is why I love trading with support and resistance. Just basic, simple, plain support and resistance, which are strong levels, and just trade between those. So in this case, I could have gone out here, but I was feeling more confident since you could tell like buyers were there to step it up. So I got in on this low here, decided to hold, and I actually held it until this resistance point here in pre-market again, which was pre-market high, because I didn't want to risk it. And usually we tend to reject pre-market high, or the new pre-market high, sorry, not the new, the pre-market high can act as from resistance and can act as new support. So I got out here at 827. Yeah, sure, I did miss out on a couple more cents, but look where we ended. Exactly at 8.50. And what did I say about psychological resistance levels? The 0.50s and the 0.0, the whole numbers can act as strong resistance. So exactly what happened here. 850, we had that exact resistance level point here. Alright, but I already got out at 827 because I didn't want to risk it. We could have easily gone down. And now what am I waiting for here? I'm waiting to see if this new resistance can now act as support. So I'm not even looking for 9 EMA bounce, but if we do get it and we have that support here, that gives me an even stronger confirmation to stay in the trade. So we went down here to support, push back up. So what I did next time is on this candle here at 942, I actually got in on the red. I did like it was like a 2-second scalp. Got in at 827 and got out at 838 on that same candle, just in case the stock was going to break down. But then what happened? The next candle actually ended up even higher, and that made me want to stay in the trade a bit longer. Even though we're far from the 9 EMA, we saw that big volume here, and we can see that the buyers are pushing the price up. Sellers tried to push it down, but it couldn't do it. So I got in on this candle close here at 8.38, and it had a stop loss at 823. Now, as this candle pushed up here, we made a new high. Could I have gone in out at 850 as well? Yes, but then not only was the 9 EMA coming upwards, we had all these lower wicks here, which means buyers were just stepping in every single time. We had the volume coming here at 200k, so that just made me stay longer in the trade. And I'm pretty sure I just held the trade after that, because once I was green, I just moved my stop loss to break even. Eventually I moved my stop loss at 850. Stock kept pushing up, more volume. So it was safe to say that I was pretty safe here. But now I was worried here because we were getting quite extended here on the stock when it was green here. So I got out at 906. That's when I got out, because like I feel like we could probably come back down very quickly on the 9 EMA. So I got out, took my profits, left and run. I think the stock kept going up after. Yeah, it kept going up. So I did miss a couple of trades. And again, right, just because it's a 9 EMA does not mean you just enter a stock, because we could easily just break down on the 9 EMA. But what happened is we did get very close to VWAP. So I was willing to risk. So I actually got in at 925 here, but a pretty tight stop loss at 910, and I got for a very quick scalp. So I got in at 925, got out at 942, like a very quick scalp, because like it could have easily just kept going down more. It could have been a quick bounce and gone down. So I got out, and thank God I got out, because oh wow, I did miss out on this game here. Sucks, but you know what, I got luck in gains. We broke down, and yeah, I think those were pretty much all the trades today, right? So that's why, like I said, I usually mark out the supporting resistances. I'm gonna close the replay. And that was basically it for my trades throughout. Oh wait, no, yeah, that was pretty much it for my trades here, right? And even like if you would have, you can even mark like throughout the day if there was a resistance like over here, you can just mark it down here. You can even mark another support here, right? So that even if you retested, like I didn't take this trade, but you can tell like even the support here, you could try guarding that support or waiting for your break, and it had that big push here out up to like from like 9:36 all the way until 10:39. But yeah, so that's a recap of all my trades that I took. I hope that wasn't too messy, but pretty much a lot of my levels, like I used the strategies that like I showed you earlier, like these strategies here. But what really helps me, I find, is having those pre-market levels and just playing support and resistance. Honestly, like you can literally just get in support, get out at resistance, and keep doing the same thing over and over, right? Support, resistance, and that's like one of the easiest plays that I do. And then you combine that with the 90 EMA bounce, with the momentum plays, adding patterns, adding level 2s, and everything just becomes overpowered. And that's what it is. It's just waiting for the opportunity and then getting in, setting a stop loss, looking at what you're willing to risk, and taking profits. Usually when I take profits, I try to take them close to resistance a bit before, or sometimes I just go for really quick scalps just to lock in profits quickly, like a 1-to-1 or quick 1-to-2, just to lock in profits to like get like a quick bounce, even though it's not a specific price target. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, just message me. I hope that this wasn't too long and that it helps you guys. Have a good day.